Show us what you got.
Thank you for being a pal.
Hey guys, welcome back to Pen Tool Pals, a friendly podcast between two graphic designers. My name is Canvas Cam with Canvas Design Company.
And I'm Cole from Cole F Design. Welcome back, week 4 of Pen Tool Pals. Thanks so much for tuning in.
What a ride.
Cam, how's it going?
It's good, man. It's good. And just enjoying this Easter Sunday of recording with you and not going to church.
Thank you guys each week for tuning in and asking questions. We're going to take some time throughout each podcast to try to answer them and tell you guys a little bit about more of ourselves and hopefully get you guys involved in the next coming weeks so that we're going to kind of get this to be more of a community of graphic designers just like me and Cam. Today we've got a lot to unpack. We're going to start with a couple of the questions that were asked from the prior weeks, and we're going to maybe get into a little bit of what we've been up to these past weeks with our own portfolios and what we're up to. So we got a great podcast for you guys today. Thanks so much for coming.
All right, guys, and something new that we're introducing is Pal of the Week. What is Pal of the Week, you ask? Well, let us tell you about that. So every week we're going to be showcasing one of our followers who submits artwork to us that does a custom Pen Tool Pals typeset, logo, what have you. Any artwork that you submit, we're going to be choosing one person to showcase on Wednesdays.
Yep, and every week we want to get you guys involved. So, whether it's, like Cam said, a badge, a logo, some type, any sort of graphic design that you guys want to share, tag us in your post, hashtag Pen Tool Pals, add us at Pen Tool Pals, send us DMs to either me or Cam or the Pen Tool Pals DM in general. We want to hear from you. We want to see your work. Show us what you got, and we want this to be a really collaborative community of graphic designers, a friendly root, just like me and Cam, pals of the pod, pals of the week. Let's get it going.
Show us what you got.
Every week after our episodes, we're going to put up on our story question block so that we can hear from you guys and you can ask us a little bit of questions, and each week we're going to answer them. So last week we saw some questions that you guys had asked, and one from @_John Mack stood out for us that we're going to answer here, which was asking a bit about our process and how we'd like to get into the creative vibes and how we do it constantly, which kind of rolls into our morning routine and kind of how we get into that creative jam like each day. So Cam, how does that kind of look for you, and what's your mornings look like? Are you a deep sleeper?
I am a deep sleeper. I am a bigger human being. I stand at 5'9", and we won't go into weight, but I am a pleasantly plump human being. I sleep like a bear. And so getting me up in the morning is pretty tough. I do like to consume adult beverages. Not every morning is a hangover morning, but still, I like to sleep. It's very nice to me. But my morning routine is waking up, trying to get up around 8 o'clock, and I will walk to my kitchen to where I start my coffee and I start my breakfast. I'll check my emails. But for the most part, it's going back and forth with clients that I've sent briefs to, getting artwork approved. Sometimes it's waking up and seeing that I have a message or an email from someone who is wanting to change things, and I'm like, we probably shouldn't do that. So once I check my emails, I just kind of put on a good podcast. Either YMH podcast, who I've designed for all last year, or I'll put on Bad Friends or something to make me laugh. Because if I can wake up and laugh first thing in the morning, it kind of turns my day around, gets me in a really good mood. Something I've been doing lately, which has really, really been a game changer for me, is I'll set a timer. When I have multiple projects, I'll set a timer and I'll work on one project for an hour. And wherever I'm at the end of the hour, I have to stop and go to the next project, whether it be editing a video for us or going to a completely different design project for a client. But I'm strict on myself. I have to stop. And ultimately, it's improved my production value because every hour I'm working on a new project, I have more proof to send to people instead of just focusing on one project for multiple days. I'm at least making some advances on each project, even if I'm in infancy stages. So yeah, that's my day routine.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So I think that we all have our own like rituals in the morning when we get up for work. And, you know, with COVID and having the landscape change a lot more from who a lot of us probably went into the office previous to COVID. Now a lot of us probably are working from home or have made the move to freelancer like I have, like Cam has. And that means new desk setup, new office, which just happens to be 10 feet from my bed. So
Yeah.
really what's happened now is my morning routine has gotten a bit slower. I'm not going to lie. But what has happened is I'll kind of open my eyes. And like a lot of people, I'm assuming they grab their phone and gravitate towards social media pretty quickly. That has turned into a bit of a positive for me because it's basically allowed me to spend 30 to an hour right off the bat on my own social account, whether it be, you know, networking, communicating with other artists, posting, right? So I have the content the night beforehand, I post it, then spend my time doing that sort of thing, right? Then I go brush my teeth, do my little ritual, and
Oh, you actually brush your teeth? No, I'm just
crazy, right? I know no one's actually gonna be so close. No, yeah. So, you know, then I get to my desk. I spend the beginning part usually communicating with my email base, client base, talk through what I'm going to do probably in the next couple days while I already have the work for that day, which I'll start soon afterwards. Get through the work, you know, every day's similar in that aspect. And then, you know, start over the next day, whenever that might be.
nice.
No.
And lots of coffee is consumed between the both of us.
Cool part about what we do every week is that we got new clients coming in through the door, new projects, fun stuff that we're always working on. So it's always fun to share what those parts or what those projects are and what we've both been working on. So Cam, you have any cool projects you want to share?
Yeah. So this job I'm currently working on is from the Streets original. It's this kid, he came to me and was like, I'm trying to start a brand from when I get back off deployment. And so this one is kind of, we're working slowly on this just because of communication. But the ideas are pretty complex, but it's really fun kind of discovering what these shirts are going to look like. And so these shirts are very streetwear based. And so, you know, I'm doing a lot of research on these different cities that these shirts are taking place in. So this one's San Francisco, streetwear heavy. So I did a lot of research into Benny Gold style design work, as well as other streetwear brands, and kind of really locking in the vibe that is San Francisco, but also kind of bringing it down into a very grounded and my style of illustration. And so I just kind of presented this to him, just this sketch kind of going into how the line work was going to be plotted out. The angle of this sketch, kind of Golden Gate Bridge doing its own thing, reaching over into like the mountain area. And it's all loosely based off of that environment, but I wanted to still have it be my style with still honoring what, you know, the contents that he wanted to have in it. And so currently where I'm at with this, it's a work in progress. You know, I might still kind of go back to the drawing board with the font choice, but this is just kind of showing examples, showing where I'm at. If you go back and forth, you know, there's still some things that need to be done, like in the water. I think I'm off to a really, really good start, especially with building this bridge, showing the layer system of, you know, the wires on the, you know, the wiring that goes from one beam to the other, getting in there, using layers properly, showing the negatives so the lines look like they're breaking out and sticking out from the color layer. It's just a slow process of figuring out the logistics of how this design's working. But yeah, I'm really digging it so far.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love how you're able to provide such a detailed sketch and use that reference. I think the hardest thing, and we kind of touched on references last week versus sketching, is that you fabricated this bridge out of
Yeah,
what looks like your imagination, which is so difficult, especially with something like architecture, right? Where you're trying to get the right angles and proportions and whatever. So to see this from sketch to final or to progress final is a pretty cool thing, and nice work on all this line work and the perspective.
thanks, man.
It's really impressive. Well, sweet. Thanks so much for sharing, Project. Yeah, so something I'm working on this week, and each season I do seasonal lines for an apparel brand out in Hawaii. They also have like 14 locations, so they're more of like a store that also has their in-house apparel line.
Cool.
And my goal is just kind of come up with like 10 concepts each season. They pick accordingly. Maybe I'll make more, maybe I'll make less, and just kind of create an overarching vibe of Hawaii throughout these drawings. So here's what I proposed so far. There's still work to be done. So we'll just kind of go through these, each different in its own way. This was kind of a play off of the Hawaiian state crest. When you kind of dive into something like the culture of a different state or place, Hawaii has such rich culture. So it's really, really important to do your research when you're doing designs for something like this, making sure that everything's correct, because someone in Hawaii will call you out very quick. Before I dive into any of these designs, it's always a big part is research, making sure that that everything's correct, everything is in line with the demographic culture. Another cool badge, lockup, volcano.
That's really cool, dude.
Thank you. Making sure verbiage is cool. The Aloha state is a big part of like what they like to say. Aloha is huge there. Another badge, lockup, something clean, shark.
Oh, cool.
Skull.
That's different. That's different than things I've seen from you.
Thanks. Yeah, I trying to bring in some textures. Rustic look.
For sure.
This is their 50th year of business, so I put in 2 graphics in here that was kind of the evolution of surfing and the styles incorporated. Aloha, pass it on, kind of cool play on like worldwide aloha. Everyone having positive vibes, and just another one that's like this is going to be their main focus logo of their 50-year anniversary, but I wanted to have a cool play on that being like 50 years of aloha versus like 50 years of business, something cool.
Yeah,
just a little bit more of a play and geared towards the Hawaiian demographic. And those are proposed for this year's summer 2021 line.
All right, guys, and that is it. Week 4 of Pen Tool Pals. Thank you so much, Cole, for being a pal. I'm really enjoying doing this with you. We're really enjoying all the positive feedback that we're getting.
Yeah, thank you, Cam. I mean, thanks for being a pal. Thank you guys all for being pals as well, for tuning in each week, checking out what we have to say and what we want to do. We want to hear more from you every week. Not only are we going to answer you guys' questions each week, we're going to leave a box in our story so that you guys can, ask questions that we're going to answer each week, but also leave a comment, throw us a like, shoot us a DM, whatever it may be.
And don't forget, a new thing we're going to be doing every single Wednesday is Pal of the Week. Design something, post it, tag us, use the hashtag #PenToolPals, and we're going to be choosing one person every week to be the Pal of the Week. Well, we're going to end this right now with a big shout out to our buddy AJ. He wrote us the best jingle I could. I gave him the idea and he ran with it. He is a huge Golden Girls fan, and so it was meant to be. So on that note, Cole, thank you for being a pal, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for being
a pal.